my God, my heart can't take this. Can we stop doing this, please? The Flyers win 4-3 in the overtime by a clapper from Phil Myers. They tied the series at 1 game apiece. But the Flyers blew a 3-goal lead. This game should have been won in regulation. Whew! What a rush. My heart can't take it. But there's a lot of pressing issues that the Flyers still need to get together. So going into this game, Scott Laughton's not in the lineup, JVR slotted back in, Ghost out of the lineup, HAYES slotted back in. So I could see AV right there sending a message right out there to the Flyers because there wasn't any list of Scott Laughton being unfit to play. Laughton was playing terrible. Laughton has been terrible since basically the round robin. He was fantastic during the round robin tournament. Ever since the first round started, he's been abysmal. He's been terrible, making blind passes to the middle of the ice. And it's been carrying on to the second round, so AV sending a message, you're going to get your ass sit. So JVR comes back in, and the Flyers, as we know from when they lose one game, they bounce back the next day. And the Flyers, early on in this game, they looked like they were the team that bounced back. Because the Flyers take a 3-goal lead in the first period. The Islanders, they came out hot. They came out pressing. But the Flyers, they managed to win a faceoff in their own zone. And faceoffs are key in this game. Faceoffs are a major key because the Flyers struggled in the faceoff zone today. So the Flyers send out Claude Giroux for the faceoff in the defensive zone, wins it, and then the play comes back up. Claude Giroux sent it out to Travis Konechny, and then, well, actually it's Justin Braun who sent it out to Travis Konechny, and then he brings it up, gets into the Islanders zone, hands it off to Kevin Hayes, who puts a shot on the net. And it goes by Varlamov. Oh, look, a wrist shot beats a goaltender. Look what happens when you throw the puck on the net. And you get something good happens. So the Flyers take a 1-0 lead. And the top 6, that was the major gripe going into this game. The top 6 has been producing. And the top 6, they were a result of all 4 Flyers goals today. Every result, the top line was out there for. Kevin Hayes gets on the board. It's his second of the playoffs. Assisted from Konechny and Braun. And then the Flyers are not done there. The Flyers, after this goal, they start to wake up after the Islanders start to settle down a little bit. The Flyers are pressing in the zone. The Flyers are getting their chances. The Flyers, they do get a power play. They can't convert on it. But the Flyers, they're still pressing. The Islanders really don't have the momentum in this first period. And then a little bit halfway into this period, the Flyers, they make a nice play in the defensive zone. They get the puck out. And then a great play by Joel Farabee in the neutral zone. Pushes the defender away from the puck, which allows Kevin Hayes to come up with it, and you get a little bit of a 2-on-1 going into the Islanders zone. And Kevin Hayes, what does he do? He takes the shot, and he puts it by Varlamov. 2-0 Flyers, assisted from Joel Farabee on that nice play in the neutral zone. So, top 6, basically Kevin Hayes scoring the first 2 goals. And the Flyers, they're not done here. 5 minutes left in this period. It's the first line out there. They get a defensive zone faceoff, a nice touch pass from Claude Giroux in the neutral zone to Sean Couturier, who brings the puck up. And Sean Couturier in Game 1 had an awful game. He was abysmal. He did not look good whatsoever. This game, much better. On this play, he's driving the net. He's pushing the defender off of him. He's staying with him. And then Sean Couturier manages to get around Varlamov and bury it past him. And it's a 3-0 Flyers lead in this first period. And Barry Trotz, he pulls Varlamov after that goal because Varlamov wasn't making the saves that he had to keep the Islanders into the game. And funny thing too, Varlamov at the beginning of this game, the very beginning, I think it was like 40 seconds in, he broke the franchise record for the Islanders for the most consecutive shutout streak or time with a shutout. So it's good to him right there, but then he allowed 3 goals and got yanked from the game. So Greiss comes in, Flyers take a 3-0 lead going into the intermission. And then it kind of felt like, just going on for the rest of this game, the Flyers didn't really test Greiss at all. After they were throwing shot after shot after shot on Varlamov, they didn't feel like testing Greiss. They just did not whatsoever. And I'm not sure how that's going to factor in the game 3, which is tomorrow, which you would honestly assume that, hey, your starter didn't have it tonight, he gets pulled, have him back for the back-to-back tomorrow. You never know with Barry Trotz because during the regular season with these two, Varlamov and Greiss, it was sort of a 1A, 1B type of situation. So you basically are going to have to wait until tomorrow to see what Trotz does. If he goes back to Varlamov or he goes with Greiss for Game 3, you just never know. So The Flyers, they take the 3-0 lead going into the intermission. And the one thing I said, I posted it on Twitter, that the Flyers they can't step off the gas. They cannot allow the Islanders back into this game. And you know what? They did exactly that. They let the Islanders back into the game. Oh my goodness. The Flyers in the second period, they actually came out a little bit hot. They were getting their chances, but nothing was really dangerous. And then you saw the Islanders, they were starting to creep back in there. They were starting to get a little bit of momentum going right there for them. And in result of that momentum, the pressing into the Flyers zone, it results in a penalty taken by Jake Voracek for delay of the game. He clears the puck out of the ice. So Jake Voracek goes into the box. The Islanders, they don't take very long to score on this power play. Matthew Barzal doing his little thing on the boards, and he finds Anders Lee in the perfect spot to redirect the pass right by Carter Hart, and the Islanders, they make a 3-1 Flyers right there. So the Islanders, after this goal, they're starting to press more. They're starting to give the Flyers a little bit of a trouble right there, and you can tell just by the way the Islanders play, the way they play their team game, roll 4 lines out there, and they play with speed and they hit hard. And there was one play where Matt Niskanen hit Johnston, and honestly, after that hit, it kind of felt like the momentum was going in the Islanders' way. I'm not sure how that works when one player from your team hits the other team and it somehow gives the other team momentum. I'm not sure how it works, but it's hockey, everything is unpredictable, and the Islanders find a way to gain some momentum off of that. They make it 3-1. They continue the press. Carter Hart having to make some saves. The Flyers, they're getting their chances, but nothing's really dangerous. So we go into the second intermission, up 3-1. And then the Flyers, like they did against Montreal when they were up in the third period, they played their defensive game. They played their dump and chase, their get the pucks in deep, and we'll play that shutdown defensive role. We'll keep you to the outside. It worked for almost half the period, but then there was a little bit of chances where both teams were getting odd man rushes going each other's way. The Flyers get a 3-on-2 going one way, but then they can't convert on that, which allows the Islanders to come back the other way. And it's Anthony Beauvillier getting the puck. He drives up the middle, and he puts it right under Carter Hart's armpit and into the net, and it's a 3-2 Flyers lead. And Carter Hart has been fantastic the entire game. I don't blame him anything for Game 1 either. The Flyers left him out to dry in that game. But this goal right here, I need Carter Hart to stop. That is a very stoppable puck. You should not allow a goal to go through your armpit. And Varlamov, he had one of those goals allowed earlier in this game too. I think it was one of the Kevin Hayes shots allowed to go right under his armpit and by him and into the net. So that puck right there has to be stopped. Carter Hart, he was playing fantastic the entire game, but I need a save there. I need a save there to stop whatever momentum the Islanders had going for them. But it doesn't happen. The Islanders make it 3-2. And then the Islanders continue to push from there. They do. Because the Flyers, they were hampered down in their own zone. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't get the puck out. Man, it was stressful. It was very stressful. You could just sense that the Islanders were going to tie this game. You can just sense it. And you know what? It does, because the Flyers, with 2 minutes left in this game, cannot clear the puck out of their zone. And it's Travis Sanheim trying to clear the puck. It doesn't. One of the Islanders on the point stops it. And then the puck ends up in the middle of the ice where, you know, the guy where he was last game where he scored a goal, Pageau, he was there right again for the puck to land right on his stick. And you know what he does? He buries it. And he ties the game at 3. So, yeah, the Islanders' speed was causing a lot of issues for the Flyers. The Flyers could not do anything about the Islanders' speed. And the Flyers need to do something to fix that. They need to find a way to counter their speed. And you know what counters speed? Hard hitting. Get physical. Make them tired. Because that was the problem. The Flyers could not do anything about the Islanders' speed. The Islanders' speed is lethal. They're on another level with their speed. You thought the Montreal Canadiens were fast? The Islanders are on a whole nother level. All 4 of the lines can skate. And that's scary. And it was causing a lot of problems for the Flyers. But the Flyers, Alain Vigneault, he tries to challenge it. Because he tries to challenge it for offside. And you see on the replays that one of the Islanders players were trying to come out of the zone as they were bringing the puck in. And it looked on the replay that player was still in the zone as the puck was brought in. So he's thinking, oh, this is an obvious offside. That goal's going to get called back. And from what the Flyers bench was looking like, they were looking like, okay, this is offside. This goal should be taken back. But you know what? Whatever the linesmen were looking at, whatever the refs were looking at, they somehow confirmed it was a goal. They confirmed it was onside. I don't know what they were looking at that confirmed it is onside, but I don't feel like that's more of the pressing issue than the Flyers blowing a 3-goal lead. I feel like blowing the 3-goal lead is more pressing than the controversial offside goal. So, I don't want to gripe on that too much. I can complain about it all I want, but that's not the pressing issue right there. The pressing issue is that the Flyers blew a 3-goal lead. And then, in result of that failed challenge, and you could tell from the Flyers bench, they're like, what? They're like, huh? That's a goal? That's onside? What? And you could see it from Alain Vigneault's face. You could see it from the bench. They were furious about that. But you know what you should be furious about? Blowing a damn 3-goal lead. It should not happen. And you can sense it right out of the gate halfway into that third period. You can sense it when the Islanders made it 3-2. Don't blow a 3-goal lead. And then the Islanders, on that resultant failed challenge by the Flyers, they get a power play from it. And we're thinking, oh my God, Flyers, don't do this. Don't do this to us. The Flyers managed to kill it and get out of the period, thankfully. Whew. It was scary. And then the Flyers, basically, this is the first overtime we've seen since 2012. So, from a hockey fan's perspective, this is a very entertaining game. From a Flyers fan's perspective, this is a stressful. This is heart-pounding. This is anxiety. Because the Flyers, they had this game in their palm of their hands. They had it in the palm of their hands. And they blow it. They completely fell apart, and they blew it. But you go to overtime. You have a chance to win it and erase that. And you know what? The Flyers did exactly that because there's a costly icing by the Islanders in overtime. And you know why I said faceoffs were crucial in this game? Because the Flyers were struggling on them all day. It felt like the Flyers could not win a faceoff when they needed to. But when they did win faceoffs, it did result in the positive things going the other way for the Flyers. And you know what? On this icing call, the Flyers bring out the first line. Claude Giroux wins the faceoff back to Phil Myers. He puts it in deep. You got Sean Couturier doing his thing around the net. He tries to drive to the net. There's a little bit of a puck scramble in front of Greiss. And Couturier's right there to try to hammer it home. He misses high. And then you get Voracek going down in the boards. And then Couturier still manages to get the puck when it bounces off the boards. And you know what he does? He puts it around the boards, gives it to Phil Myers, who is ready to wind up. And he blasts it. And it goes off of Anders Lee's stick and past Greiss. And the Flyers win in overtime by a score of 4-3. They tied the series at 1. But man, there's a lot of things they still need to fix. The Islanders, this game should have been won in regulation. This game should have been won in regulation. I can gripe on the failed offside goal. Because I do believe that play was offside. But I'm not going to hyper on that point because you shouldn't blow a 3-goal lead to begin with. You should not. And AV after the game, he says, that was my fault for failing the challenge because I shouldn't have challenged it. But AV, you kind of had a case to deal with right there. It was a risky challenge, yes, because there are situations when the ref does get the wrong call. I believe that he got the wrong call right there, but in the end it didn't matter. Because they called it onside, they tied the game, but the Flyers win it in overtime. They win it early, 2 minutes in. We don't have to deal with that freaking long overtime bullshit. Whew. They don't have to deal with it. My heart can't take it anymore. We have Game 3 tomorrow at 7 p.m. Man, there's still things they need to fix. They need to find a way to counter the speed of the Islanders. The Flyers, they're not a fast team. Speed is what kills us. The Flyers need to find a way to counter it. They need to find a way to get a full 60 minutes going, because I felt like there hasn't been a game in this playoffs where the Flyers played a full 60 minutes. It always feels like there's those couple or stretches of the game where the other team is just completely dominating them. And the Islanders have done that in both of these games. The Islanders in Game 1, they dominated the first period and they dominated the third. We dominated the second, still not a full 60 minutes right there. That's basically 20 minutes. In this game, we basically dominated the first period, then it was the Islanders the rest of the game until the beginning of the overtime. The Flyers need to find a way. They get a full 60 minutes going. They cannot step off the gas. They just cannot. So, there's one thing going in the back of my mind. Does AV go with Brian Elliott next game just because of the back-to-back situation, but I don't think he's going to, because he rolled with Carter Hart in the previous back-to-back with the Montreal series, so I really don't expect anything right there. So I do believe that Carter Hart's going to go for Game 3, but the question mark is for the Islanders, are they going to go with Varlamov, are they going to go with Greiss? You just never know with Barry Trotz, because basically those two goaltenders in the regular season were basically in a 1A, 1B type of situation. But Varlamov has been the guy for the Islanders, so this is his first time getting pulled. So maybe Trotz goes back with Varlamov, maybe he goes with Greiss. You just gotta wait till tomorrow. But the Flyers, like I said, they need to get it together. They need to find a way to counter that speed, because it's killing them. Because if they can't find a way, if they continue to get leads and continue to let the Islanders come back into these games, it's going to be a very short series. It's definitely going to. The Flyers got lucky today. The Flyers got lucky. They made a good play in the overtime. They got lucky. This game should have been won in regulation. I'm not going to gripe on that offside much, because the Flyers shouldn't have blown a 3-goal lead. I believe that was offside, but still, I'm not going to hyper on it. Don't blow a 3-goal lead. It's simple as that. Don't break down. Find a way to stop the team. You just got to find it. But the Flyers tied a game, tied a series, won a game apiece, going into Game 3 tomorrow. And if the Flyers can find a way to win tomorrow, it could honestly be an entirely different series. But a lot of people have been expecting this series is going to go 6 or 7. I believe that too. But the Flyers, they need to find a way to get a full 60 minutes of ice right there. The Flyers need to find a way to get a full 60 minutes of consistency, because it just honestly feels like it hasn't been. So, what are your thoughts on this game? What are your thoughts on the Flyers blowing a 3-goal lead? And also, maybe with the top 6 scoring today, you got 2 guys scoring, Kevin Hayes and Sean Couturier. Maybe that wakes them up a little bit. So what are your thoughts on the top 6 actually contributing in today's game for all 4 goals? So don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. What are your thoughts, and what do you think the Flyers need to do to be better for Game 3 and not blow a 3-goal lead? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to drop a like. And I will see you next time. My heart. I can't take this anymore.